Hi, everyone. I know we're kind of trickling in and we're in the afternoon here, but we're very excited to be here. Thanks, Brain Innovators and Qualcomm. Um, Robert has made my job as a moderator today really easy because he did a whole presentation for you. So before I sit down and give the whole stage to Robert, just want to give you a quick introduction about QA and what we do. We are the world's fastest growing training provider that is reimagining how global enterprises do learning. So if you are inspired or scared by what AI can do, and you want to learn how to make sure you have a job next year or do the job better than the people in the seat today, come talk to me because we cover everything from technology, digital skills, e-marketing, e-commerce marketing, and everything in between. So we're helping make sure that you are excited to learn and also know how to actually embed those skills. Robert, do you want to give a little introduction of your role?
Yeah, sure. My mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, my name is Robert. I'm our global marketplace strategy lead at HP. Essentially what that means is I help coordinate our efforts globally across the e-commerce marketplaces that we partner with, like Amazon or Mercado Libre, helping to improve our customer experience globally on each of those marketplaces.
Cool. Let's do a quick fire round of questions so we can get to know a little bit about you, and then you can tell everyone about AI. Okay, so you work in marketplaces. Where's your favorite marketplace to buy stuff?
For me, it's Amazon. They've got me reeled in, and I'm pretty much hooked.
Okay. Your favorite tech gadget?
Probably my Apple Watch. It tells me that I'm out of shape. I wish it could actually make me a better athlete, but yeah.
Okay. Since you didn't put an HP product, what's your favorite HP product?
I think I'm actually really excited about the new AI PCs we have coming out, which I think we just made an announcement about. I haven't actually tried it, but I think it'd be super cool. So maybe I can become friends with our IT guy and get hooked up with one of those.
Cool. And then lastly, your personal most used AI software.
Probably just ChatGPT. Yeah, I think I just use it a lot just to answer questions, generate text, help me to write emails, things like that.
Perfect. All right, take it away.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I have a presentation I'm going to go through today. I think there's a couple things that I'm just going to walk you through. One is just to illustrate the overall importance of AI and how quickly people have adopted the AI technology. Second, I'm just going to walk through a couple examples of how some leading brands are deploying AI and how it's really impacting every single stage of the customer journey and customer experience. And then lastly, I'll just give a couple examples of how HP is implementing AI within our e-commerce operations. And I think I need a clicker to go through the slides. If we can go to, there we go. All right, so I'm just gonna start off with an example of some leading brands that you probably all know. It's a little slow to react. All right, so if we take a look at just some leading brands that have been deployed over the last decade or so, if you look at Spotify and their path to 100 million users, it took them almost 5 years. I think people really like just simplification. So the more that we can provide simplification and products to people's lives, the faster it's going to be adopted. Spotify was really able to simplify music sharing and music libraries, and so that's why it was able to get to such a 100 million users in just 5 years. If you look at a little more recently, Instagram really simplified photo sharing. And their technology was able to get 100 million users in about 900 days. So, significantly faster than Spotify. But if we look even more recently at OpenAI, which was launched in November 2022, just 60 days. This is incredible. So if you look at, going from 5 years to 100 million users down to just 60 days or 2 months. And so consumers really, understand how much this can simplify our lives and just make everything so much easier for us, and this is really just driving significant adoption. So I think this graphic's a little messed up, but this consumer adoption is really just turning into investment within the AI industry overall. And so there's a projection out there that it's kind of hard to project something that's moving so quickly, but the overall AI industry is supposed to be almost a $2 trillion industry by 2030. That's just incredible growth, growing at 36% per year over the next decade or so to reach that. And so the adoption by consumers, because they see how it can simplify their lives, is really transforming into business impact. And if we look at like where VCs are putting their dollars, we're seeing about a fourth of all venture capital dollars going into AI-related startups. And so this is really just going to continue to drive further adoption of AI, and it underscores the importance for us to continue to pay attention to this technology. If we look specifically at the retail industry, I know there's a lot of people in this room that are specifically in the e-commerce world, and so there was a survey done of people within the retail and consumer goods industry, and about 3/4 of people really believe that AI is going to completely transform our industry in the next 12 months, and that they're looking to actively deploy solutions in the next 12 months as well. If we look on the left here, it's a little messed up, but the point I was trying to illustrate is essentially that there's about a third of people within the consumer and retail industry who are already using AI solutions either for personal use or at work. And so that number is probably a little low. It's probably higher than that now. But people really are, looking at these solutions, whether it's for personal or business uses, and that's really just going to accentuate and speed up the adoption of deploying this AI technology even quicker. People understand it from a personal aspect, and so they're going to be looking at it from a business perspective and deploying it in that sense as well. There's a lot of use cases we can deploy AI for. As in the e-commerce world, we can use it for more back office operations. There's data analytics capabilities and things. But I think from our perspective at HP, and we're really focused on the consumer-facing applications of things and how we can really use AI to drive better customer experiences and overall just improve outcomes for customers. And so for us, there's kind of three applications. It's really creating content and assets. It's just overall improving the customer experience. And then lastly, it's personalization of assets. So those are kind of the three areas that I'm going to dive into a little deeper today as we go through this. But so this just really underscores the importance of why we should be paying attention to AI and how quickly it's becoming in use within our daily lives. If we take another step and just look at the overall customer journey, there's kind of three stages that we can break it up into. And AI is really impacting the customer across each of these stages in the funnel. So if we look at the awareness stage and customers just becoming aware of products, we have AI influencers, which I'll show a couple examples of, who are really generating awareness for products. And then as the customer becomes aware of a product, typically they go into the search phase and they're doing research, they're Googling questions about products. And AI is really transforming our search experience from a search experience into more of a guided buying experience and more of a question and answer format and giving us more recommendations. And then as customers land on the product pages, ultimately we have better images and text generated by AI to convert them. So I'm going to go through some examples of how some leading brands are deploying AI across each of those stages, but I thought this would be fun to just kick it off. About a year ago, you probably weren't able to tell, or you probably were able to tell the difference between an AI image and a real image. Today, it's much, much, much harder. So I want you to just think in your own head to yourself or whisper to the person next to you if you think this is an AI or a real image. All right, so this isn't actually real. Faked you out. Same exercise. Do you think this is a real or AI image? All right, if someone guessed it, real. This one is also real. I have one last example here. All right, so some people think this is AI generated. So this one is AI generated. This is actually an AI-based influencer created by a marketing agency in Spain called The Clueless. And Aitana was basically created because the marketing agency had a lot of issues working with human influencers. They're negotiating contracts, they're paying them, they're trying to get them to meet the deadlines that they have. And so they just got frustrated with working through that whole experience. And so they created Itana, the AI influencer, who posts product reviews and is really leveraged to be a marketer for products for the brands that approach them. And she's actually generating revenue up to $10,000 per month. So instead of the agency paying influencers, she's actually generating revenue for them. There's one more example I'd like to show of an AI influencer specifically within an e-commerce marketplace. I think this one is really cool. This is an example of Magazine Luiza. I have a little video I'll show you guys, but Magazine Luiza, for everyone that's not familiar, is one of the largest e-commerce marketplaces in Brazil. So it's kind of their Amazon equivalent as we think of it in the US. And they created Lou, who is their e-commerce influencer. And really they saw an opportunity to create an influencer to fill the void of traditionally occupied by an in-store salesperson. So, maybe you would go into a store and you'd be asking about a product and the salesperson would help answer your questions about that. And that really didn't exist for an online experience. And so they created Lou to help with feature unboxing videos or product reviews or software tips. And so I'll just give you guys a quick illustration of what that would look like.
Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna show you how I became the biggest virtual influencer in the world.
Magalu, Brazil's biggest retailer, believes that brands need to become creators to avoid being disadvantaged on social platforms. That's why Magalu turned Lu, its virtual assistant created in 2003, into its virtual influencer.
All right, so that's just one example of how AI is really impacting the customer at the awareness stage. As the customer kind of gets awareness of the products, they then go into the discovery phase where they end up on Google typically and they're searching for a product. And the buying experience really is being transformed from a search experience to really becoming a dialogue. And so I have another video here of how Google is really transforming this experience. And this is an example of someone that's searching for a wedding dress. And you'll see how it's becoming really conversational, and they can even ask follow-up questions. She wants to know what shoes pair with the wedding dress, and it gives her some really good recommendations to go with that. And so I think as marketers, we just really need to understand that this is the future and how things are changing. And as we create our product listings and content and images, that it be optimized for this new experience that we're seeing.
As you know, catch me on the road. I'll say hello, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, so that's just a fun example, I think, but I think we all get it that how this is really changing. And then I think the last step in the customer journey is that they ultimately end up on a retailer's website or an e-commerce marketplace. And so this is an example of how Amazon Ads is really optimizing and improving the experience to create images for our product listings. So I have another video here of how on Amazon you can select the specific SKUs that you want to generate assets for. In this example, it's a kitchenware brand, and they want to be able to create a pumpkin spice or fall themed event for their brand. And so they're able to select the product images that they want, and then they're able to create a real lifestyle images with their brand and make it more pumpkin spice and fall themed so that it really resonates with the customer during that season. And this is something that typically would be a very time-consuming process to create all these lifestyle images and very complicated. And Amazon is just making this super easy. So you can just see how much easier it is to generate really good images for our product listings. And then the last example I'll show you of quickly is just how Spotify is really changing the content. So now that you've landed on the product page, you have good images, you also need good content to really ensure that the customer converts. Shopify Magic really helps to make this so much easier that you can input just a few keywords, select a different tone of voice, maybe provide some other special instructions, and then it automatically just generates product descriptions and copy for your products. At HP, we have thousands of SKUs. We cannot create good content and product descriptions for all of those things. And so a tool like this, for us, would be super valuable in just helping to save time and also just ensure we have good product descriptions across everything. All right. So now that we've seen just where, what some leading brands are doing along the customer journey and how things are changing and how AI is impacting the customer at each step of the customer journey, I'll just talk a little bit about HP's approach to AI, where we're specifically deploying it, and I'll give one example of how we've actually used AI to date to improve some images. Okay, so if we look at just our overall approach, I'll kind of just walk you through an illustrative example of maybe how we would look at deploying this. But essentially, we just start with identifying a potential use case with a big impact. So there's a couple examples. It could be creating better imagery. It could be translating text into multiple languages. It could be creating product copy like we just saw in the Shopify video. Or it could be creating new 3D assets. Like typically we weren't able to generate product videos and 3D images that were, these advanced solutions were super time consuming. And so AI is helping us to really deploy use cases across all of those. So if we just go with the imagery example, we'll go out, we'll look at a couple different vendors that fit the use case and solution that may fit our needs. We'll probably select 2 to 3. We'll run pilots with those. And then ultimately, we try to get to just a conversion rate impact or true measurable impact. So it has to be really in the revenue savings, or revenue generating or cost savings. And so for us, we're not an organization with massive overflowing budget. And so if we're going to deploy an AI tool, it really has to have a measurable impact that we can present to our leaders and show the true impact in terms of either revenue generated or cost savings from this. So I just gave one example of, imagery is one way we're deploying it. There's 3 other ways that we've identified for our organization in terms of where we think there's true meaningful impact to deploy AI solutions. The other one is personalizing content. One thing that we're really able to do now is, maybe we go and take a photo shoot with our marketing team in a bench in Central Park. And then, maybe that really resonates with a customer who's searching for our products on Amazon in, New York City. However, that same image, if it appears on the product listing on Amazon in Latin America, that's not going to resonate. And so we can really, take these images that we're creating with our marketing team and transform the backgrounds and make it super localized. And so that same image of someone sitting on a bench in Central Park could be someone sitting on a bench on the beach in Brazil and really resonate more with the customer. We can also improve the copy. So I think, we saw the Shopify example. We're starting to leverage, some solutions similar to that to really just improve the product descriptions that we're creating for our products. And then lastly, this just helps us to scale all of these changes across our catalog. We have thousands of SKUs at HP. We're really only focused on creating, good assets with our marketing team for the top 100 or 10% of products. And so there's tons of products that aren't getting optimal content out there. And so we think that AI is really a solution to help us, develop better content and images and product descriptions across the full catalog. And from the tests that we've run so far, where we have deployed this, we're really seeing reduced customer confusion, fewer returns, and overall just improvements in conversion rates and ultimately generating higher sales. So to end, I'll kind of just walk through one quick example of how we've actually deployed AI solutions. So what you see on the screen right now is an image that our marketing team went and shot. They actually went to Costa Rica into this coffee shop and shot this image, and then they overlaid the text over it, and they realized this isn't actually that great. We can't go back to Costa Rica and reshoot this. Maybe this could be improved. And so here's the original image. And then using AI, we actually rebuilt the whole frame around this. So everything on the left, the right, and the top is actually completely AI generated, and we rebuilt this whole photo using the AI solution. And then once we have this new image, then we can recrop it and create a much better overlay. And so you can see the original, maybe not optimal, and then using AI, we were able to just take an existing image. So we can also use this tool for creating new images and assets, but I think this is just one way we can actually use AI for existing content and just improving upon things that are already out there and deployed across our product listings. And so doing this, we're able to really see a better improvement in performance metrics online. So I'll leave you just with three key takeaways before we go into some Q&A here. But I think A is really just look for concrete applications. I think at HP, we're really looking for things that either drive meaningful revenue improvement or are driving cost savings. And so I think just be very practical about how you're deploying AI. And then also, be scrappy and set up tests and pilots and get to measurable results very quickly, and so that we know whether the solution is going to work, whether it's not going to work, and what the overall impact is going to be, so we can measure that. So thank you for your time.
That was great. Thank you. Before I ask my questions, is there any questions in the audience so I don't have to do any work up here as a moderator? Okay. So one that I thought of while you were presenting was, we're obviously talking about e-commerce and AI in this specific panel. When it came to e-com and like transacting and consumers actually spending their money, not just using online to do research, it took a long time for people to finally get to the buying habits that they have now, because there was like fear of people spending money, my credit card's going to get stolen, that kind of stuff. And it feels like that fear is coming back up again. How do you think as marketers we could get ahead of that and make sure that we're still keeping that trust with our consumers and want them to trust the information that we're putting out there?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think that the use cases that we're deploying AI for, like it's enhancing existing images, it's maybe generating new images or changing the backgrounds and personalizing it, and overall just like improving our copy. And so, I don't know, I think they're pretty low risk in terms of things that a consumer would be concerned about. Yeah, I think like there's a lot of different use cases that we can focus on for AI, but I think for us, we're really just trying to look at the things that can have the biggest impact to our customers, and that will really improve the overall customer experience and make that better for them.
Any other questions here? I'm going to put it back out there.
Typically would be used by a minor.
So the question, if you couldn't hear, was how would this be impacting content that you're targeting for minors, and would it be different at all?
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure how we're I don't necessarily know that our content is specifically tailored towards minors versus adults, I guess. But I think that the ways we're using AI is really just to try to inform the customer better. And so yeah, there's a lot of content and videos and stuff out there for our products that just aren't very good at informing the customer of the features and the value to them and what they're getting out of it. And so they buy it and then they return it because it wasn't what they were looking for. And so I think we're really just focusing on deploying AI to make sure the customer is better informed before they ultimately, get to the sale point.
I have kind of a fun question
All right.
that doesn't have to do with HP. And I asked this question yesterday, and the person's answer was to fix laundry in his life. But the question is, if you can use AI to do anything in your life and fix a problem, what would you build AI software for? And don't say laundry.
I actually saw a cool example the other day of someone trying to build AI software so that they could talk to their dog. So I have a cute puppy at home, and I think that'd be a super cool use case where it recognizes
Treats
their
now.
recognizes their emotions and features, I guess, that they're doing, and so you can understand what they're trying to think or say.
So the dog will know when the Chewy delivery is coming
Exactly.
in. Okay. One more question.
Nice to know how anything like hiring or affected the strategy or content to put on. Collaboration.
Yeah, good question. Probably better question for the marketing folks from HP in the room, I think.
You're not selling Ferraris on
yeah.
your marketplace as well?
No, I think that's probably a really cool collaboration and idea. Probably a lot of use cases that we could join together to create better content and images. But I think that I don't know. I think that the way that we're thinking about AI is just very practical applications where it's tons of man hours to deploy this, create content or copy or things like that. And so I think we're really just focused right now, I think, on the low hanging fruit of where we can deploy it. Eventually in a year or two, we'll probably get to solutions like that where we're working more with the partners and Ferrari and Real Madrid and stuff like that to work with us.
All right. I think that's time. Perfect
All right.
timing. Thank you.